Hey there. I just wanted to spend a quick moment covering a topic that I've had a chance to kind of play around with in my mind, and so I thought I'd kind of run this through. And it's the whole concept of meditation, or what I like to refer to more as mindfulness. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. I know it's something that comes up a lot, and you may be somebody that feels like, hey, you're very experienced at this, or you're super deep into it already. You see value in it. Somebody that's understands value hasn't been able to really conquer it, and somebody else that just doesn't really believe in the value of it. So wherever you are, I thought there'd be a couple minutes of value here, just from my own perspective, just kind of drill down to it and maybe produce another analogy. And my main experience is just understanding and experimenting with, is this something that would produce value in me? Why? What's the purpose of it? And then how to hack it a little bit and get better at it. And I think there's two purposes that I think of. One, our own well-being, our own health. And if you can ascribe to the fact that that's important to you, then kind of understanding that we're talking about a body, physical body, certainly emotions, um, our mental intellect, all working together. All right, and so if there's anything that heightens the value of that or improves that, that's important. And my experience is that anything you can do in the mindfulness space or the meditation space is really, really valuable. And the easiest way I think about meditation or mindfulness is working hard to put your body and your mind in the same place at the same time. All right, that's for me, that's like the easiest way to describe it. And I've learned that just through experience. When we feel frustrated not being able to do it, it's because our mind and our body are not in the same space. We want them to be, we're trying, and it's not happening. We're frustrated with the experiment. And so that reassures us that that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. And of course, we spend a lot of time that way throughout our days, right? Our body's right here wherever you are, but our mind's either in the past or in the future trying to solve problems. And our minds and bodies work really, really good together in a couple ways when you do that. So that's the easiest thing. And when whatever tool you might use, I'll throw out a couple of suggestions, but you can go out and do your research on that. I'm not here to suggest do this, subscribe to that, read that book, or what have you. But when you do play around with that, just keep that in mind. Whatever it is, it's a process to kind of put your mind and body together for a period of time. 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can. How quickly can you do it to achieve the benefits of that? How purposeful do you need to be? How spontaneous can you be to do that? I think those are really the important things. And why is that? Again, there's the value for yourself, your well-being, your health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health. But then if you're also a person that's committed in giving of yourself, um, I would suggest to you, my own experience is that it greatly enhances that capability as well. All right. The more experience you have putting your mind and body together for yourself, when you do that, you're better prepared to do that in the space of other people, and you're healthier to do a better job at that. Okay, if that makes sense to you. So I'm very, very big on being as healthy and as prepared as I possibly can to help other people. That means energized, that means healthy, that means mentally peaceful, that means capable of being there in the moment at that time. So practicing those things help you get better at that, and you'll be healthier and better prepared to serve in that capacity. So there's a self-serving component that replicates itself in a outward serving component as well. So again, how do we do that? I think there's lots of tools out there. I've used a lot. I've used a lot of apps. I'm a big fan of Headspace, for instance. But whatever you use, you're still going to wrestle with making it real for you, trusting yourself to make sense of it, and playing around with some variation of whatever you're using. So whether it be a book or an app or a coach, they're going to give you some stuff, and you're still going to have to play with it enough to make it real for you. And one of the things that worked for me, so I'm just going to add to that toolbox for you, is using the analogy of your mind and your body being like a partnership, a best friend partnership, or a marriage partnership, even, if you want to go that far. And really thinking of that analogy and saying, um, um, when you are working with a partner, you spend a lot of time apart. You each have your own things going on, and you may be doing things apart for the benefit of both of you, or you may just be self-serving, a career, or other things you invest in. But if you're in a really committed partnership, there's huge value of spending time together, right? And sometimes those are like the best times. And sometimes they're also it can be something simple. I mean, it can be an activity, but often it's those rich, quiet times, like together on a bench in a park, or maybe just laying on a blanket together, looking at the clouds, right, and not even talking. And what's going on there? You're just richly valuing and enjoying the time of you and that other person being together right there at that moment. And so that's the quest I think about when I think about mindfulness, is to say there's such great value in putting my mind and my body together in the same place at the same time. And using that analogy helps me, especially if I'm struggling a little bit, right? I'm like, okay, I want that rich experience, or I need it, or my discipline has waned, or I've been sitting here for 5 minutes and it's not working. You're going to grab for some tools to help, kind of bring focus together to try to be there. And lots of people use analogies to help you with that. And so you're going to create your own. But one could be, using a partnership, a marriage or a partnership, or a best friend type approach to say that's what my mind and body are. And sometimes I even think of it, I have some references to my knowledge of like a stay-at-home mom and then a spouse that's out working. And that's kind of the focus of like the body is just a slave to doing the physical things, right? And the mind is out doing all the work, just out and about, out at career, out traveling and that sort of thing. It's usually the mind coming back to the body, right? The mind comes back to where the body is, and that's our reference point, no matter how spiritual you may be. And so I think of that. I think of the spouse that comes back home to the stay-at-home parent to say, I'm here now, and I want to connect and leverage the richness of our experience. And of course, what's often the stay-at-home partners say, I've been here all along, and sometimes I even use that, and I think, okay, I need. And I want to bring reference to my mind to come back to that rich space that's been there all along, and kind of re-invite myself to be there and settle down and be present and be together. And like I said, you'll come in contact with lots of tools that help you do that. People focus on your senses and your surroundings, and then kind of letting yourself set in those surroundings, whatever that is. But I just thought I'd share some thoughts with you. And then also realizing that we're not just talking about us. All right, for many of us, we're goal driven, right? We're successful entrepreneurs, or trying to be, or we're just very, very goal driven people. So it's okay to leverage that and say, one of the purposes of this is because I'm a servant to others. And if you're a servant to others, then what's our quest? To be the best servant to others we can. And what's involved in that checklist? Well, one of those is health and readiness. And we have to be active participants in that. It doesn't happen by accident, okay? And if you've heard this message from me before, you'll know it's a common theme, a common rant that I have, is we have to take an active role in being ready, spontaneously or pre-planned, to serve in the greatest capacity that our talents, abilities, and passions allow us to. And so that's another purposeful mindfulness and meditation is to be healthy enough to give 100%, not 70%. Okay. So anyway, hope that's been helpful. It's just something that's been percolating in my heart the last couple of days, especially. And just to let you know, I was using that this morning and had an awesome 20-minute experience, both for myself and for readiness for today. All right. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.